لي زامي مرحبا بكم معنا مرة أخرى في هذا اليوم الخامس والأخير ديال بطولة إفريقيا للرياضات الإلكترونية الدار البيضاء 2024 مباشرة من القاعة المغطاة ديال مركب محمد الخامس ديال العاصمة الاقتصادية المغربية. فرحانين بزاف باش نكونوا معكم اليوم بوغ هذا النهار ديال الفاينلز افيك جوج ديال لي فينال اللي غادي يكونوا مي فريمون هيستوريك، مجموعين كاع البلدان اللي كتلقاهم او توب ديال الايسبور افريكان. افيك سو بروميير ماتش اللي غادي كاملين نحضروا ليه في اللعبه ديال سي اس 2 اولا اللي كنا كنعرفوها شحال هادي بكونتر سترايك. دونك اللي نوستالجيك وجدوا راسكم مزيان غادي تفرجوا في واحد لو ماتش دونتولوجي بين الفريق التونسي والفريق الجنوب افريقي. واش واجدين حنا توكا واجدين اللي كاسترتي وجدوا راسهم باش نحضروا لهذا لو ماتش. ولكن مين وايل I'm gonna go to my buddies to my two almost twins with South African captain, with Tunisian captain. We're going to start with Awesome. What is the team mindset before the finals?
We are calm, confident, ready to play the game.
Did you prepare some trash talk to the Tunisian team, or are you just going to pay him respect or what?
And nothing but respect for Tunisia. Strong team.
Okay, so may the best team win, and we're going to the Tunisian team captain, Mr. Pote. How do you feel before the final?
I'm feeling great, actually. We are prepared for the match. We have a great mindset as winners, as always. We're here to win. We're here for the first place. So we hope we're going to have a nice match. A lot of respect outside the game, but in the game there is no respect.
So kill each other in the game, respect each other out of the game. I love this fair play image. Guys, good game, good luck. To the best team is gonna win. So guys, let's just get ready for this first final, CS2 between Tunisia, South Africa. Casters, are you ready?
Oh, you better believe it. We are ready here. It's the final of the African Esports Championship. Amanda, this is Neo, and we are ready to go. How are you feeling on this fine morning?
I'm looking forward to it, right? We've got kind of two different ways to talk about this. Obviously, a lot of respect shown and two great teams out of the tournament. But there's one thing. There's no pressure in the sense both these two sides have already qualified for the World Esports Championship. This is now for bragging rights, for seeding, a little bit extra money as well from that prize pool. £5 being that difference as well. So, of course, small things like that. But these two sides have already played together in the group. They're in that group of death over in Group A, teams like Morocco and Mauritius already. And we look to see now in the second time of them playing, of course, here in this grand final, what they're like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. I mean, I think the bragging rights is going to be important, right? Like, you want to be able to say, like, listen, we're the best country in Africa to play Counter-Strike at the moment. So, you can claim that at least for a year into the future. I think that's pretty sick. So, I bet they're going to want to play hard. And I like the respect, but also both teams, we know they're going to be pretty sharp. So, I really look forward to it.
Yeah, and I think the big thing for me as well, we kind of had a brief moment to talk about it, is that because they've played already, and because it's been a couple of games since, they've had now a bit of time to prepare and understand sort of what they're going to look like heading in towards this second outing, right? How we're going to counter-strike them, what their sort of game plan is, how we're then going to overcome this. So these small things will start to be this kind of big difference. We had a pretty good game when they first played. It was a 3-mapper, went all the distance, a very, very solid showing from both sides. So we come in towards this second time about it and see maybe what they can bring to the table in a bit of a new, improved, maybe, way to counter them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite exciting. I mean, the South African roster, we got to learn them a little bit. I would say that in general, they have a lot going for them.
Yeah.
At moments, Awesome looked like he was like the one to really step it up and lead from the front.
For sure.
But, I mean, Tristan was very good with the AWP. They had a lot of different individual prowess, I would say. So just a really solid, I think, well-rounded lineup. They're not relying on just one superstar. Like, it's a whole team.
Yes, exactly that. And, we even saw instances where Deadshot, who plays a little bit more of those anchor positions, was able to put up a lot of great holds, right? And having somebody who's just that stability sort of factor, I think, is a big thing for me. Over on the other side, Tunisia, we all kind of got a moment to touch over with Pote as well, the captain over towards our side, and he had a really, really great performance all the way through. I think it took him a while, maybe half a game or so, to warm up into it, to get that AWP out and really start to find his form. But when he does, man, this guy is so damn talented. So he's going to be, I think, one of the main ports of where we find firepower coming through for this Tunisian roster. If he plays the way that he should, he's going to be very, very difficult to shut down.
Absolutely. Interesting to see how it's going to play out for the Tunisian side, if they're going to be relying on Remind as much as they were in the early stages, or if it's going to be a little bit different. Curious to see the maps that we're going to be playing on here. I mean, I think that's that's always something to think about. Like, we've been seeing so much Anubis, obviously, but yeah. What do you think this time around?
Well, you'd be happy to know that it will be more Anubis coming through. We've got a bit of Anubis picked in by South Africa. Then we're heading in towards Inferno, picked by Tunisia. And if we need it, Ancient is our decider. And a little bit of a change-up as well in terms of the veto from when they last played. I think having that is already showing the slight variations. When they last played, they started on Dust 2, then went to Anubis, still picked by South Africa. So we know that's their sort of strong map. That's where they like to head. And then we had that decider being Ancient, which was actually required. One of the very few games so far throughout this qualifier which has required that third map. And even then, it went the distance to when they were able to play it out. So a pretty good game. We're looking forward to this one. When they last played, we've got the scores up here for you. This is over in the groups. We weren't on that game, but it was a bit of a banger. We had a 13-10 map number 1 in favor of Tunisia. Then it got flipped 13-8 over on Anubis, which is, as we know, South Africa's like real strong pick. And then we went towards that third map, which ended 13-11. So we went the full distance 24 rounds in that 3-map. And this is a veto and a similar sort of game where we're expecting the distance once again.
Yeah, we want that. We've been cheated out of having a third map in pretty much every game that we casted so far. So yeah, let's try and see if we can make it a really deep series on this one. I hope so. Yeah. We kind of want to see South Africa bounce back a little bit and kind of figure out what's going on here and maybe be a little bit more ready. I think they will be. I think they're going to be in strong form today. But you always know like how you get started can say a lot too. You have a little bit of a slow start. Maybe you get overwhelmed. Seemed to be the case for Namibia in that third place that started yesterday against Egypt, and also Egypt just started off so well. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was unfortunate yesterday as well. I mean, Egypt looked great all the way throughout, but I think on the other side for Namibia, I feel like they really crumbled under the pressure of that situation. It was really difficult for them to get going, to find their form, to get their individuals online as well. We kind of looked at a couple of them who had maybe moments. Shackles in particular was somebody for me, I think, at least in a series where you barely get any rounds, it's tough to have individuals shine. I think he did a pretty good job, but as a team, unfortunately, I just think they got outmatched. Egypt looked mechanically so damn crisp, and this is kind of one of those differences. And we had a moment to kind of discuss about how South Africa are going to try and approach this. Tunisia are another side who are very crisp. They want to take aim duels early, whether it's CT or T side. They're going to be so akin to fight in the first sort of 30 seconds, and then make reactionary plays off the back of it, which is a little bit different from what we would generally see as a sort of prepared strat out the gate sort of thing, mid-round to late round. Is sort of how things are played at the kind of that top level over in EU. So having these variations can actually really work in your favor. And at least in the first time they played, it did. I feel like Tunisia really did just caught South Africa a little bit off guard. They just didn't expect that sort of aggression. Yeah,
and I think from what we can tell, they don't intend to play each other because obviously, even though we are on the African continent, the distance is massive. Yeah. And especially, I think, from a server point of view, like as far as I can tell from looking at fiber optic cabling maps, like the cabling goes around Africa, like it doesn't go through the continent, that's just not an infrastructure thing that exists. So yeah, you're gonna have a better time, I think, if you're up north in Africa playing either on European or Middle Eastern servers, and then South Africa is a little bit on its own. So it's not really too shocking that they might not have had a really good read on how good the other team was for the first go-around.
Yeah, exactly that, exactly. So when we get things underway and towards this game, I really do want to see how things kind of change in terms of the reactions. It seems like the players are more or less getting ready. Of course, we had our moment to speak to the captains, which was really great. Both of them, of course, have been actually super important in terms of just the raw firepower side, not even just the leadership. And I think the big thing, and we maybe saw a little bit with Namibia, where they went very quiet as a team. Even in some dark situations or things when they're not going quite well, we need to keep that level up. And you really look towards your captain, your leadership roles within the team to be able to keep that momentum, keep the mental state in a positive note. If it starts to dip, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I'll say this. Awesome. He was like almost bordering on almost being like too nonchalant in the whole thing. But I was actually looking at his camera and some of the games we were casting. Like even in crazy like 1v3s or whatever, like he just seems to be completely chilled out. Like, guys, no stress at all. That's a sick quality to have in a way, right? Like, obviously you can almost be too disengaged in what's going on, but, high pressure situations, not being like super swept up in the whole thing could be like actually kind of cool. So, I kind of expect we're going to see a couple of moments where Awesome's going to be stepping it up here.
Yeah, I'm looking to it as well. This should be a really, really good game. Of course, this is our final game here with Counter-Strike. It's the first of a pretty cool day as well. Finals across the board. We had the CS2 Women's Finals yesterday where South Africa picked up their win, booking their spot to the World Esports Championship, which is obviously sick for them. And then, of course, the rest of the finals on today. We've got ours here. Following us on this main stage is going to be MLBB. Over behind that curtain there, we have got the PUBG Mobile Finals as well, where actually the locals that are Morocco are doing really, really well. They're currently finding themselves sort of in that fight for first place with Egypt currently. So a pretty cool spot that they find themselves in.
Yes, I we went to check out a little bit of the PUBG stuff yesterday. It was wild over there.
Yeah, it's a cool setup. It's actually a very, very cool setup.
A lot of players on stage at the same time. You know, it's not something that we're used to. So we'll see. Hopefully they'll get the game live and on the way soon, and we can. Yeah, there we go.
Right.
We're into it. Tunisia versus South Africa here. It's the finals of the African Esports Championship, and we are on Anubis to begin with. It's going to be South Africa starting on the T side, Tunisia on the CT side, and already a couple of great shots coming out. Chidonj just absolutely wrecking them so far. Oh, I say that, but it's back on again.
Yeah, dead shot with a double. That's really going to open things up. Slash will get a plant off the back of Awesome, and now we've got something to work with. A 1v3 is going to be very difficult on this retake. Julie's to work with, or maybe something, but even still, this is not going to be an easy scenario. 1 versus 3, and he's got no information about what this setup looks like at all.
Yeah, this should be a round that they just win straight up. Slash will take him down. Great recovery from a bit of a tough start there, where you just don't have the, you don't have the first couple of kills going your way. But Chidonj was not able to escape, so ended up going down. It's dead shot for a couple of kills in return. Great work.
Yeah. On the CT side, he doesn't actually play a lot of those sort of super high impact roles, but on the T side, he's one of the main men who's going to be looking to finding a lot of space. I mean, he's that sort of player who would expect to be in the thick of it, in the pack, and so far, so good. Won't be a forced buyout for Tunisia. For South Africa, should be a pretty simple round out from them. They only want sort of any sort of investment. I can't expect anything really to go south.
Okay, battle brewing in the middle. Pretty awesome to begin with. All the USPs have shown up, and they're pretty much just getting mowed down. Tristan with the 3 good kills there, the Galil. Still, don't necessarily hate it for Tunisia. I think it's fine trying to be a bit aggressive and trying to see if you could find just a couple of kills there with the USPs, but it didn't work out. I guess, funnily enough, the MAC-10 there got none of the kills, so they didn't make as much money as they could have, but small detail, not necessarily a big deal.
Yeah, no kill bonus in this instance. So, 2-0, we'll see that full buy come back out for Tunisia, see what they can bring to the table. And I guess for them, this is where they really do have to start things off quite a positive note. They can't get things going here. This is where things do start to become just maybe a little bit uncomfortable, right? If you lose your first full buy, you're going to be talking about going 3-4-0 down already at that point because you get ecoed straight after, and that's where things do become just slightly uncomfortable. So this is a very important round. So if you don't find this, they're going to kickstart towards their opponent's map pick on the CT side and in a pretty awkward note. Also interesting to note that being it is South Africa's map pick, they've given them arguably the more preferential side. This is the only map statistically which is T-sided currently, and they've given them that start. So you can sort of see how South Africa is so confident out the gates.
Yeah, it's a replay here for the pistol round where the round is almost won by Tunisia here, but these couple of Glock shots just absolutely making it work. So pretty good work. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if they win this round here on the South African side, then Tunisia are going to get thrown into this weird stage where you have to worry about the economy all the time. Like, it's a much harder game at that stage, so pretty important, I think, for the Tunisians to be able to have a bit of an impact early on here. See what they have. Mostly M4s, a couple of FAMAS there to play with. Still a lot of players that are yet to be activated on the CT side. So I'm sure they'll have time for it. We're definitely looking for Remind to have a bit of a start here. But Tay to go down first, so that's interesting.
All right, Tristan will start things off well. A little bit of spamming towards mid, but right now it's like this fight as that smoke plumes up. Little double coming through. Remind has to be one of the main men we look towards throughout this game. Every single time Tunisia have picked up wins, a lot of it has come off the back of his back. Very, very solid rifle and showing exactly just how. Playing up close, MAC-10 waiting for that smoke to dissipate. Riegler sits on the other side. Might be a bit of a Molotov here. He might want to play out in front of it. Nate will break over. He might start to tick, and he'll fall to the MAC-10. Bit of space now for South Africa to work with in this 3 versus 3, but that MAC-10's very low.
Yeah, and they have armor on the other side, so going to be hard to, I think, win more fights with the MAC-10.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a single player, Fallas, who's hanging around over at the A-bomb side. It looks like he's going to be the one who's going to be under attack, and I think the main job for him is to stay alive. Chidonj, oh, that's a nice sneak up. He's going to be able to find 1 kill there before they get going, but Fallas goes straight down, so good job on Deadshot. Bomb's going to be planted at the very least here. No doubt Tunisia are going to go for a bit of a retake, although that is very, very good. Couple of smokes. Wow, that's going to slow them down. In fact, for Tunisia, they almost have to try and flash their way through it. They're going to run out of time.
Time is of the essence for them. No kits, they've got to make a move here. Attacking on their smoke just to try and find a gap above it. They can't really spot anything, I say that. Deadshot gets caught. Slasher on the back, looking for a 1 versus 2, but he can't. Remind, kick started this round, and he's the one to close it, Tunisia. They may have to work for it, but they will get their first on the board, and that gun round converted successfully is all we can ask of them. That's going to keep them afloat.
Wow, I wonder if Slash, if he could sort of like slow down time, he probably would have made a choice to play, not to take the straight fight afterwards.
For sure.
Definitely a moment there where that could have been possible, but again, those are like the high pressure situations where it can be very, very tricky to kind of like figure out, what am I doing? Am I playing for time, or am I just taking the fight straight up? And probably felt like he had a bit of an advantage with the AK.
It's true. There's one thing to mention on the other side as well, that is technically a bonus buyout towards South Africa. So getting a bomb plot of 4 kills is not actually a bad thing. Yes, they lost the round, but it's actually seen in a pretty good light. They're going to have more than enough money to buy in towards this next round. They're not under any sort of financial pressure. This is the first time we get to see full buy versus full buy. This will be the real early litmus test to see how this game plays out. Early damage, very good. Their opening kill will come through. XG getting caught. Not the way he wants to start things off. Wriggler, nice start.
Yeah, again, kill through the smoke. I think Remind had 2 of those in the last round. That's also a bit crazy that it works out like that. Slash making up for the last round here and taking down Wriggler. Good Molotov in front if he would have been ready with the AK. It might have been a way to get that kill. I think that, again, probably could have been one there. But we're still in a 3 versus 3, and they're still doing significant damage here. It's Tristan to take down Chidonch, and that'll leave the B-bomb side wide open for a bomb plant here. Tunisia, how are they ever going to retake this? I don't think it's going to be easy. Remind, though, it's a strong start. Straight headshot to take down also.
Tristan's low as well. Definitely a world in which they can make this work. Peering out of the smoke. He'll be caught. Remind trying to kickstart things himself as he starts to make a little move around this pillar. Remind will close it. Once again, Deadshot gets caught. And Remind another round which is closed off the back of him alone. Brilliant work from their star fragger, and he's showing exactly what he's got in the locker.
Nice. Tunisian fans definitely on board for this one. I love that. Yeah, Remind, he really has been the spearhead for Tunisia for quite a bit here, and you can tell why. Like, once he shows up, it just changes the entire dynamic. Like, and it's not just like, mechanically he's great, but it's the level of confidence, like, every single time. He's ready to take these fights.
Yeah, exactly. An absolute star when he shows up, and yeah, so far he's doing exactly that. Need to kickstart things, Tristan. Not the way he would have wanted it. Of course, this is a low buy for South Africa. Only the pistols to work with. Not expecting a hell of a lot in this one. A bomb plant would be nice. Anything else, it feels sort of outlandish.
Yeah, and even that might be, I'd say, hard to come by at this stage.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be easy to try and find one of those bomb plants. We'll see if they are going to be able to. Remind, pretty good couple of kills. Almost getting that one, but why not fall away once you got tagged up? So, a bit of a slow round. Not a big deal. For Tunisia, it's about not losing, especially the AKs. Just keep it real chill here, and I don't think a bomb plant's going to be happening. So, yeah, being on the CT side is a brilliant start right now. Yeah,
I mean, this is a sort of round where you're coming in against a low buy who really aren't looking for all too much. The main thing is just about don't make it expensive, right? Don't lose any rifles. Don't drop it into the wrong hands either. Swing and a fine. XC will fall. 1 man left. Just Deadshot and a Deagle. Hoping in the prayer to get a kill or 2, but probably unlikely. Flawless going to come through from Tunisia as they will take a lead. And now there's most definitely something to work with over on that CT side. Remember, this is the pick of South Africa. So they're able to take this. It already puts them in such a positive position for the scope of this series. And that's when maybe South Africa start to feel quite a lot of pressure. We know both teams had a lot of prep off the back of their first game. But it's about how can they change things up heading in towards this second variation of it in the grand final too.
Yeah, this is super important. We just said winning that first round for Tunisia was super important for the money. Now they're in the opposite position where they actually have a decent bank already. And look at how aggressive they're being. This is pretty sick. Like, they're pushing forward in a great position to try and put some pressure on. But Exa will get the first one. Take down Chidonch. Almost went down. He's at 26 health, but work being put in here from South Africa. I think they need to. Like, they need to go on a bit of a run here to recover some of the momentum that they've lost early on.
I mean, the way I normally look at Anubis as a map is you sort of want to be getting around 7 rounds on your T side. I feel like if you get any less, probably in a little bit of a tough spot. All goes quiet as we hit the minute mark. And a couple of contact plays being on 2 different fronts, but Remind going to line up too. That is massive. Peeks out at the perfect time. Awesome and Deadshot both get caught in the crossfire. That's going to hurt. Up on towards the side of Molotov. Balev's going to play inside the flames. He'll fall, but Remind still stepping up. Looking for the ace. Can't quite get it. Denied at 4. And Exy now thrust into a tough 1v2. He's tagged.
Man, Remind is just a superpower in this game at the moment. 11-3, like you said, nearly an ace in that round. Terrifying work. And because he's playing that center on the map position, he's kind of hard to avoid, right? Like, he can rotate to either A or the B bomb site. Like, he can go whatever he wants. So you just know that it's gonna be hard to control him.
It's true. Tunisia, this is a really good spot that they find themselves in. Also, too, where we're at the moment, South Africa are feeling quite a lot of pressure on their shoulders. No 2 ways about it. Unfortunately for them, once again, it's a little bit of a weird buy. We're not expecting a hell of a lot. Tech 9s and half armor can be kind of scary at times, if played properly. Tunisia do need to be a little bit careful. Flash going to come in towards main. They start to make a move, and they're not exactly going quiet about it, but this could be a fight which doesn't go in their favor. What a reaction by Deadshot, and now they've got the ace side.
Yeah, that's wow. That's where you want to see some more grenade usage coming out there from the Tunisian side. Like, there are no smokes, no Molotovs, no flashbangs. Like, the Tech 9s just get close and just completely steamrolls them. So, a bit of a shame. I think that they just weren't anticipating that kind of a strat, but you have to be. You have to be thinking about the money on the other side, and that's why you throw down those preemptive grenades to just stop that from happening. Wow, that is a huge gift to South Africa, right? Like, that's the kind of round where now they can build something behind it, and they can get a little bit of momentum back. Not necessarily bad at all. They even steal, like, 3 rifles. That's sick.
Yeah, you sort of take those sort of rounds with a real kind of grain of salt in the sense that it's not a gun round, so you maybe get a little worried, but it can be massive for sort of make a momentum flip in your favor a little bit. You need rounds like that to turn the tide, especially when you're not playing maybe in the gun rounds themselves as well as you'd want. It's pretty massive. On the other side of South Africa, guns picked up is pretty huge. I mean, just less of an investment. Long-term economy builds up a little bit more. Small little positives like that. And of course, keeping this a 1-round game. But Tunisia, still a lead for them. Still an opportunity to buy into towards the next round, so they're not under too much pressure. This could be an important one, though. Once again, South Africa, it's all well and good getting a round like that with Tech 9. So if you lose the gun round to follow it, momentum's still going to be in such a tough spot.
Yeah, I think the dream right now for South Africa has got to be kind of like winning almost all the rest of the round. They made it an 8-4, then they recover so much momentum. They're going to go into the second half thinking that that's it. Like, slow start, but we're ready.
Yeah.
The truth is, Tunisia, I mean, if it keeps going like this, they're going to be in a really strong position. Although their money is also dropping a bit low, and they lose Remind at the start of this round. We all know what that means now. The rest of Tunisia are going to have to step it up. They have players that could do it. But it would have been cool to see Pote maybe with the AWP. We know he's pretty good with that weapon. True. Just can't afford it yet, unfortunately, so a little bit slowed down. It looks like a B attack here. Just waiting, getting a bit closer. They've got so much utility on the T side that they can definitely make it work. Although there's actually some interesting Molotov to be thrown down. So, again, they're almost just walking into it. Donj gonna get the first one. Molotov, he gets caught with it in hand. Wriggler, how much can you do here? A double kill would be huge, but Deadshot takes him down. And a 2 versus 3 now. Bomb should be planted, although at least one of them is very low on health here. It's true. Deep nade. Oh, not quite deep enough. Thought he was gonna try and get it locked into the corner, but that's a bomb plant.
Yeah, it's not tough. They should know about Pote as well. He starts to make a move. Tristan is low. Got tagged by him earlier in that fight over towards stairs. Will he clear, though, is the question. The answer is yes. Actually, effectively, just as Tristan turns, Valen's going to find one of his own. Deadshot thrust into a 1 versus 2. Make that 1 versus 1, but Pote going to step up. The big flank successful. And Tunisia yet another round in their favor, and another gun round to make it even more important. So far, South Africa, on their map pick, not going as intended.
Wow, the timing for Tristan to peek away out there outside of the bomb site is so ridiculous. Like, you just hate to see that. the kind of round that lives in your mind for a while. You're like, come on, like I was holding that angle the whole time. But great retake coming out here from Tunisia. 5-3. Still, it was a 1 versus 1. Not a lot of money on the CT side at the end, and with the bomb plant, South Africa are going to be able to put together a reasonable buy, including that AWP.
Yeah, of course. Gun saved over from that previous round before that too, so it really does help them financially here. Tristan, we've set up. We'll find the opener. That's going to help massively. Dead shot, phasing up the smoke here. Tristan to get one more as well. Remind gets caught. Wriggler also falling. Bowtie coming under a little bit of pressure here. Gets caught between a deer and headlights. Didn't know where to look. 2 different angles to fight from, and he will fall. All down to 1 man. Fales might save it.
Yeah, it's between saving or I was going to say trying to get onto the bomb side and injure it. Fighting, but I doubt there's any point. Yeah, just get that AWP and make a run for it. Wow, some aggression early on from Tunisia. I don't hate it, but the downside is when it doesn't work out, the round kind of blows up in your face. I think they lost 2 players before anything really even happened. So
it's true. Fales will try and save this AWP. I think he should be okay. They're not really going in his direction. He should be all right. I'll say that. He's pretty low on the other side, but I think he's far enough away, which wouldn't make much of a difference. They are going to maybe check him. Potentially. Might just slip the net, and he will.
Wow.
So the AWP stays alive. That's a small little win on that side. And, I mean, they can buy one South Africa in response. Deadshot can drop one over, so it's not the end of the world. Slash also needs a drop as well. Thankfully, money is workable for South Africa to make this a possibility. Like we said, we've kind of got to see the side. I always want to see them get on T side at least 7 rounds. 6 is sort of a bare minimum. If they can just take that kind of handshake of a tied half, I think it's all right. But anything less, if you go into the half on T side at a deficit, I think you are in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, they're making up for it. They're starting to get back into it now, which is great news. Obviously, it looked like it was going to be a little bit too one-sided, especially the way the Remind was just kind of like just wrecking them round after round. So if they can slow him down and just kind of refocus their attention, I don't know, it's still a wide open game, to be honest. One AWP on the CT side shouldn't make a huge difference. Yeah, I've got to be honest, like we've seen Pate hit some really cool shots throughout the tournament so far. So, he's got the potential for it. I won't rule it out. Let's see as we get back into the game here.
Buy around him's really awkward though, isn't it? Fales, 1-4. Famas as well for Wriggler. Just a few upgraded pistols. Never discount a 5-7 though. It's gone. It's going to be quick. Pull off something, yeah. And they're gone barreling in towards the B side.
I like that. They're not going to have a great economy. They can't throw grenades to slow you down. The risk is that it could have been a stack at the bomb site, but the upside is you get that close onto it, or you win one fight and it's pretty much over.
Yeah.
So, saving the M4 and the AWP. That's pretty much it. Wow, the economy's really blown open here for Tunisia. If they don't successfully save these guns, they're going to be in so much trouble.
It's the awkward thing about that CT side. That economy can be so difficult to manage in some of these situations. I mean, you can sort of see it here. It will be this game tied up, though. South Africa making sure they have a bit of a conversation at the tail end of their T side. Making sure they do this round flawlessly, too, is massive. It looks like they're going to exit safely, so no fight to this tail end. Both sides sort of probably pretty happy. That's South Africa as well. They don't have loads of money left over. They don't want to be reinvesting for no reason. Some people on water they've got. Same for Tunisia. It's fine. 5-all. It's fine. We said it had the potential of being not only a bit of a marathon or a game, going towards kind of the distance in the maps themselves, and maybe all 3. When they last played, went 3 maps, Ancient, 13-11 in favor of Tunisia. So had a bit of distance behind it, and this one could be more of the same. 2 of the best sides we have here at the African Esports Championships are 2 finalists, or 2 spots as well to the World Esports Championships representing Africa. And, of course, the bragging rights to name the champion, the best team, the best country when it comes to African Counter-Strike. And I guess for South Africa as well, be a 2 for 2. The women's won yesterday.
That's true, yes. Yeah, now it's a chance for a second title. That actually would be kind of cool. 1-for-1 trade at the beginning. Looks like a very similar strat to the last round. Very impressive. Oh, I get in here. Oh, Pate, I don't know if you wanted to get that jump, but Shadon's comes back in. Huge couple of kills. Nearly gets a triple. That 5-7 is deadly. It's Fales to take down Extra, and it's just Tristan left. 1 versus 1 against Phallus on the other side. Good flashes, a little bit of pressure being applied, and a massive health advantage here for Phallus. We'll see if that's going to be making a difference. Tristan does have the AK, so you never really know. A minute on the clock, and there's the peak coming out. Phallus will take him down. That's 6 on the side of Tunisia. I think they're starting to become really happy about this.
Yeah, really good discipline, has to be said there as well from Phallus. He just waits for his opportunity. Doesn't rush in that situation. He knows there's a minute on the clock. He knows he's tagged as well already because they confirmed that. So it's all about just making sure that you wait, bide your time, get that peak which favors you, and it does. Really well played. A lot of experience shown in that 1 versus 1. Unfortunately, I mean, the only real thing you can say in a negative note towards Tunisia is just the jump here for Pota. I think just a slight mistake, maybe a little bit of a panic in that situation, but got bailed out by the P250 behind him.
Oh, yeah.
6 guarantee for Tunisia is very good for a CT side. They can get 7, they're in a really, really strong position. At least South Africa do have a buy, this time though without the AWP.
Look at the push out of the A-bomb side. They've got Matei and Phallus already pushing their way in. I think Exit, he was going to be dead no matter what here. The question is, with the bomb site being lost, can they go for a bit of a retake? Wriggler, good shots. But trade is in, keeping it real tight at the moment. 3 versus 3, and the bomb is going to be planted.
2 fights on 2 different fronts. Pop flash and a view. The spam somehow is pretty good. I mean, Awesome gets bailed out by Tristan, but he sort of kept his cross in the right position. Pota going to get caught as well. Last man left down to remind in a 1 versus 3, but if anybody was going to pull this off, it would be him. He's the one who can make a difference for Tunisia. Already had a bit of whale of a performance. First fight, unsuccessful. Slash will close it, South Africa. Will tie this game up at the half, 6 apiece, but these 2 sides are inseparable right now.
Yeah, really, I think important for South Africa to get that last round in there. Still a very open game. I think if it would have been a 7-5 in favor of Tunisia, that is a bit more of a concern. So, yeah, pretty well played here. I like the aggression, trying to clear out that position in the middle. In the afterplant, wow. Pistol round, though, I think will be very important. Like, this is where we're going to see who's going to be starting out hot here in the second half. For South Africa, maybe especially being on the TT side, I think it'd be a huge benefit to them if they can start to pick this one up. Wow, running and shooting is Remind, but he's going to divert. They're going to be running down. Pate almost lured into that one. So half the T-Force drops down. Half of them are waiting for a peek on the CT side. This is all-out chaos, but X, oh my God, great headshots coming out. And Awesome will take down Phallus, and what looked like a brilliant start here for the Tunisians. Now, it is a 2 versus 2, and the bomb is lost in the middle. Yeah,
this is the big issue. This plan is really good on that T side until they lose the bomb, and it changes the narrative massively. P2K can't convert. Exy thrown into a 1 versus 2, one in which he can't convert. Remind will close things. And another statement made by him as well. Once again, Remind showing his prowess and bailing his team out of a dicey situation. But a really good start coming through for Tunisia. First round taken on the pistol. And now we can start working on this T side. They're going to get the guns out. They're going to get a good buy coming through where you probably expect for South Africa. It's not going to be the case here. Not a bad spot that they put themselves in, and a good way to kind of reclaim some favor and a foothold in a round which sort of looked lost off the back of that mid-fight.
Well, it's definitely on now. Good grenade. That's actually so much damage. Do they know about it yet? But interesting to see. I don't know, man. Tunisia, they're really stepping it up here. Having just the right kind of rounds where Remind steps up, gets a couple of good kills. I mean, it's very, very hard for South Africa to keep everything alive. Like, he's really at the moment here. Good couple of kills for Wriggler. They'll get the job done. It's fine. The Galil looks like they actually will pick it up. So I guess Chidonj doesn't want to fight because he's got the bomb. Yeah. So like if he stays to protect the Galil and he dies, the round will be lost. So fair play.
I do wonder whether he was spotted. There was a world in which maybe his shoulder might have been and the kind of radar would have betrayed him. But it looks like this round's going to be fine nonetheless. It's a little bit more expensive maybe than Tunisia would hope, but I think all in all, if you win the round, you don't really care too much. Then he comes down, Deadshot going to get caught by it. He was already tagged, so I guess we weren't expecting all too much. And that nade against no armor, only ever going one way. Awesome, the last man, the captain, probably going to get caught in the same way. A P2K in a dream, and probably one which won't start. Gets caught by Chidonj at the end. And Tunisia going to take a 2-round lead here over South Africa. Not a bad spot that they put themselves in now. But The first gun round going to come through for South Africa. This is one now that absolutely has to be converted. You lose this, we're talking about Tunisia getting 9, potentially even 10 rounds, and a 10-6 scoreline on on T side. At that point, it kind of feels already done. I mean, generally in terms of momentum, that's normally how it is.
Yeah, I agree. Tough position right now for them. Only a 2-round gap, but it really is about the money there. It's the big thing that we're worried about. See what Tunisia have got for us. Remind is holding the middle for the minute, expecting that there could be some CT aggression coming out, so actually does get grenaded down quite a bit. That's interesting. Deep grenade being thrown. So tags him. Nice to keep him a little bit modest in that sense. Yeah, but a default.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what he's going to do is lurk. Like, we haven't actually seen him do them yet, but maybe as the guns come out, this is where we get to see Remind sort of activating what he does best, where he gets him behind and becomes a bit of a nuisance, right? So difficult to predict. These small things that make Tunisia so difficult to play against.
Well, he's going for it. At least he's working the middle now.
Yeah.
So that is what we saw for them last time on Anubis, is Remind just like trying to open up the middle. And if he's successful in that, like they could do anything they want tactically. 50 seconds. Bomb is being brought back. Oh, wait a minute. They changed their minds. They were actually running back to the B bomb side. You can see the bomb just making a 180. Now back towards the A bomb side instead. 40 seconds. And Remind waiting for his opportunity in the middle. It is really what this is constructed around. So we'll see if he is going to be the first to make a move, or if it will be the main push into the A bomb side. But either way, I think a lot of this will be down to whether or not Remind can drop in the middle here. Nice swing from Awesome, but the Molotov and the flashbang, a little bit of a powerful combination. Challenge, good double opening, and yeah, Remind, he's lurking in the middle, trying to make sure he can do a little bit of damage. He almost gets found, but still, it's a huge distraction. They don't want to be fighting Remind, they want to retake the bomb side.
Yeah, they get kind of dragged away, and it will chip a little bit of that time away as well. Chidon holding to the swing out. He'll get caught by Slash. Hostile alarm to Flash. Also going to get caught by Tristan. The 1-for-1s are good, and Remind left all alone. Drops his gun, looks for an upgrade. Low on ammo, did spot his shoulder. Remind can't afford to fight here. If he does, he has to rip ahead. Tristan is tagged though.
Oh, he's not buying. That's sick. He heard the little thing. He's just saying, all right, I don't think you have a kit. I think it's just a fake. That's really ice cold for Remind here. Gonna go down, but it doesn't matter. The fact that he didn't buy it the first time around means they're still gonna be able to win the round.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to play it as well. You know, you've got no HP, you've got no, at least you're expecting no kit on the other side, and you've got no way of actually properly fighting that. There's no point. Every single way you can think about trying to make an engagement there, it's not going to work in your favor. So just actually playing the ballsy call and just saying, all right, I'm just going to hope you're not sticking this. It's so smart. Sometimes it can work against you. The age-old anecdote, pros don't fake. Sometimes it actually ends up not looking so good, but in that sense, brilliantly played. Real calm and under control in that situation. Kind of that round starts him in a weird way. At least that execute and that kind of post-spawn starts him too. He's buying attention. He's drawing them away from the site. He's doing a lot to just, again, like I said, be a little bit of a nuisance and drag that attention of South Africa away from the main goal of retaking the site. 9-6, though, very important spot. Now Tunisia find themselves in, and unfortunately, the buy is pretty rough towards Africa. We can't really expect a hell of a lot in this one.
Yeah, especially for somebody like Remind, who's so aggressive. It's probably hard not to take that fight. Yeah. Even if he's low on health, he's like, but I surely will win it. So good to see him in a moment there. Like,
rein it back in, kind of thing, yeah.
Win in a different way, I think that's important. 9-6. And they got some upgraded pistols, but yeah, you're right. This is a little bit tough here. I'm not going to lie.
In the semis as well, we did see for Tunisia, the only real kind of negative we had about them was maybe they want to overfight. Speaking of the Remind, he will get caught. Artigo MP9 going to swing in a final Wriggler. Hang on a moment, this round may have something behind it. Or at least more than we expected. Opening 2. Go the way of South Africa on a bit of a half bite. Tunisia need to be careful. Just get caught with the pants around their ankles a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Wriggler not win that fight, right? He's running out of a Molotov. That should be fairly winnable. Deadshot goes down, so they're starting to bring it back now. They're really stretched out, Tunisia, so it looks like it's going to be a bunch of 1v1v1 fights here, unless they can change it. Good Molotov behind that cake position, forcing out Exa. Donj can win this fight, and indeed he can. So that's going to be enough to get the plant for him. I think for a bomb plant here on top of it. and I think that should be enough to win the round.
Yeah, I'm not expecting really anything to change at the tail end here. And you might actually even talk about just keeping the M4 alive.
I think so.
There's no real point losing it. Yes, you can have money to buy in, but it's just nice to have a little bit of security, a little bit of comfort in the economy later down the line. It feels like a more than impossible retake. No kit. And they also picked up an AK too, so now we're definitely talking about a save. This is the rifles you want to keep alive and towards the next. Have something to buy around it. It might even mean squeezing out an AWP as well, which could be good to work with. For Tristan, might be able to buy one, potentially with 3K. He's already got the armor as well, right? So he's got all the positives that he needs. Tunisia, though, will lock in double digits. 10 rounds on your opponent's map pick is not a bad spot to find yourselves in.
No.
South Africa right now need to dig deep. They are running out of opportunities, running out of chances to compete in their own map pick. And on the CT side, it really just hasn't got going. They're yet to get around.
I've got to say this as well. I mean, in terms of the Tunisian side, right? We've been highlighting Remind a lot, but he's by far and away not the only person. I would say like the entire squad's actually playing very well at the moment.
Agreed.
So even in terms of the kills, like John is up there, like that, the whole team is coming together. So that's really nice to see. Even though he had some of the highlight clutches so far, you could see, you know, Remind at 13, but Shadonj at 12, 10 for Phallus and Pate. Like they're all doing pretty good work. So. Not necessarily easy to overcome. Awesome. Just tagged up at the start of the round. Looks like this will be a B finish. Normally, Tunisia, they can do the default where they sort of drop the bomb towards the A side of the map. This time they actually have it with them towards B, so it could be a quicker execute this time.
Yeah, a couple of bodies, though, going to meet them here. Not exactly going to be the easiest fight to take. 1 minute 20, though. Plenty of time to make a decision elsewhere or otherwise, and you don't have to commit. Information plays probably need to come through from South Africa at some point as well. They really can't allow Tunisia to dictate the tempo of this. They come. First fight is good. Tristan, while blind, finds a kill. Regal and Shadonj will combine, but Tristan's AWP still causing some problems. He will find his third kill and maybe, just maybe, keep them off this side. This could be a one-man army, but the bomb will go down.
Really sick shots and a lack of grenades here for Tunisia in the 2-on-3. If they had more smokes, more Molotovs, they can buy so much time, but they don't. Flashbangs, I guess that could be something. And the fact that Remind is still alive, you really never know. Bit of a grenade to set it up for the retake for South Africa. Oh, they actually picked up another Molotov. That's sick. That forces that's surely going to be an easy kill. Remind gets one, ready for more. Big double kill. And dead shot on his own. 1 versus 2. That little pickup of the Molotov, that really disrupted the retake. And Remind is back in action. 3 kills here and a 2 versus 3 after plant converted. Tunisia, they're getting fired up right now.
Yeah, the people are loving it in here as well. It's good to see. Remind again stepping up, 3 kills to his name. And I thought Tristan's 3K alone might have been enough to shut them down on that B side. But other ideas, Remind, from Black Plat does God's work, and they just cannot seem to clear him. I think Tristan's fight that he takes right at the end there, he's so low. He needs to wait for the support of the rifles and sort of use them as maybe a little bit of bait or cannon fodder, but it doesn't work out. Great work, and Tunisia inch closer and closer to the finish line. On their opponent's map pick 2. No joke what we're seeing out from them. Attack pause being called here.
They love it. Good work, guys. Yeah, this is kind of slipping out of the hands of South Africa at the moment here. 11-6 the scoreline, and they just need 2 more. They've got the money on their side. They've got the momentum right now. South Africa, what is the solution? They're missing that AWP on Tristan as well. That sucks.
Yeah, something's got to change basically here and now. If they lose this, we're talking about broken economy and your opponent's on map point on your map pick. At that point, surely it's done. They still yet to get around on the CT side. This is not a good spot. We already said that maybe not getting at least 7 on the T side, that might come back to bite them. I mean, ultimately, it's not been the deciding factor, but it definitely has hurt a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, you've got less runway, you know? Like, if they would have had 7, then at least would have been a longer time before Tunisia could catch up and overtake the whole game. But right now, they are really running away with it. 3 at B, 2 towards the A side with headshot kind of beat them into my... Oh, what an opening. That's a cracking shot coming through from Shadonj. Dead shot here. If he goes down, the round is probably over. Unfortunately, it's very likely that the best option here is to save and play for overtime, which it doesn't feel good to make that call or guarantee it, but I mean, you're not going to get back into this round.
It's sort of a pick your poison type scenario,
Yeah.
right? Which one do you want to do? But I'm with you. I really feel like now saving and playing for overtime is the best option. But even then, saving might elude you. Exy will find one with the MP9, thankfully, and might potentially be an upgrade of that MP9 to an AK, but doesn't opt to go for it, at least not for now.
He's so worried that there's somebody else there. Yeah, good job.
All right, he gets it, he gets out. That's all you can ask. And on the other side as well for Tizia, they've got so many rounds to work with now. They're in no rush. They don't need to hunt. They don't need to risk it, especially for the likes of Pota and the AWP as well. No point potentially losing that. We don't exactly have super long economy to work with on the Tizian side either. Still save. And that'll be Tunisia locking in map point on Anubis on map number 1. South Africa's pick as well. Not a good spot that they find themselves in. You can see Tunisia getting fired up here as well. Too right. Flawless second half so far. I don't blame them. I'd be feeling that as well. And it looks like South Africa look a little muted as well. They don't really seem to have an answer. If they go for a quicker round, they're just not ready for it. They slow things down, they lose the opening fight. Everything that could go wrong, unfortunately, is right now. This might be one of those where we just say mental reset and hope you can go again into map 2.
Yeah, that definitely could be the case. I mean, I'm sure they will be able to, but yeah, it's a bit of a rough start here to the finals, no question. Pote going to be taking down Exa. That means they're just 4 kills away from winning the opening map right now. They've got plenty of time and resources, so they can wait it out. Wouldn't be opposed to Tunisia calling a bit of a freeze right here. Oh, even though the flashbang worked, Remind gets the kill, was ready for another one there. Tristan's got 19. He's trying to keep the dream alive here for South Africa. Nice shot from Slash. Back into a 3 versus 3, but he's got to be very careful here. When that smoke fades, he's going to be in some trouble. The backup is not there, so it's just him on the bomb site.
Oh, he gets caught. Pote, nice find with the AWP. We'll open it up as well. Tristan trying to make a bit of a move. He did put one in towards Jail, but he can't quite find the frag. And now, 1 versus 3 to close things. All down to Awesome, the IGL, the captain, the main man who has to try and bail them out of this spot, but a 1 versus 3, which feels impossible. And especially considering he's got 46 points of HP. He's made noise, they'll know he's here. Potai posted with the AWP, should spot a shoulder momentarily. NEP and a dead man walking. Tunisia close map number 1, 13-6. And they make light work out of South Africa on their pick and set up this series for potential of a dominant 2-0.
Yeah, I love it. Great work. The fans out there, you can tell people are super excited. You're hearing the war cries coming out. So I would say great energy coming out right now from Tunisia. Yeah. They look so fired up at the moment. And it wasn't even just the Remind show. Like, he played very well, and he had the kind of high-impact rounds that we wanted, but the whole team really showed up today. So, yeah, we've got a real final on our hands here.
Yeah, what a showing. What a showing indeed. And it really does now start to beg the question about, for South Africa, are they checked out? Is the mental not there? They've got to take this sort of 10, 15-minute breaks in between these maps and really have a strong conversation. You're going into your opponent's map pick, and you've got to try and settle the score and take it to that Ancient third. And even last time when they played an Ancient, they lost it in the group. So at the moment, everything that potentially could go wrong is, and it's not looking too favorable. They've really got to dig deep.
Yeah, no question about it. The mental reset can be kind of tricky, right? Like you did nothing on that second half. You just had no foot on the ground. So definitely very, very tricky highlights here from the game. Again, Remind probably going to be featured in a bunch of them. He nearly had that ace in the one round. That was pretty sick. So overall, just a strong performance.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? You know, one side is showing a completely flawless second half, a pretty solid first half as well, all things considered. We said if South Africa don't get 7 rounds on the T side, we're going to be a little bit concerned. And we were. And this is the ultimate thing now where I think for South Africa, they had a couple of opportunities and just didn't take them. And it cost them later down the line. They ran out of chances. Their gun rounds didn't quite work out. And unfortunately, it led to what ended up being a super one-sided scoreline.
Yeah, that is the truth here. Pistol winning that. I mean, that turned out to be like the beginning of something fantastic for Tunisia. They just never really looked back from that point on. It was a close pistol, 2v2 at the end there with Mind getting a couple of USP shots, but yeah, this was so good. Very well played. The 1v1 here where he just, doesn't doesn't go for the fake bomb defuse and just waits it out. It's pretty sick.
And there's so many different people you can highlight in a positive note. I think Pota did really good in terms of his leadership, but also as an AWPer at his moments. I think this guy here, Chidonj, his entry fragging was incredible. His pathing was perfect. His crosshair placement was also excellent. So these small little things that all sort itself into place. You know, we highlighted Remind so much about this game, but everybody had their moments. Riga and Fales, when it came towards that CT side, they were really fundamental in locking down sites. So having everybody step up in that sort of way is absolutely massive. But, you know, it shouldn't really be too much of a surprise at all. Remind walking away with the MVP off the back of that first map. 17 and 12, 103 ADR. An incredible, consistent showing across both halves all the way throughout that map.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against like the impact that he had, especially like, you know, you win a pistol round, you know, with the last 2 kills there. I mean, pistol rounds are so important. So, yeah, great work. No surprises, but South Africa are going to have to come back a new team for the second map, right? They're going to have to really turn it around because if they don't get off to a good start here, it looks like Tunisia have plenty of energy to win this.
Yeah,
really
no, exactly. And it did sort of feel as well on the other side that at least like halfway through that second half that they were kind of mentally checked out maybe just a little bit, right? I think for South Africa, they weren't offering enough. And I think you get to a point where when you don't really get any rounds in maybe the first 2 gun rounds, the couple of ecos around it, you do start to just space out and think, maybe this is not for us. Maybe we just can't really compete with these guys on this map, even though they did last time they played. It was 13-8 when they played it in the groups. But unfortunately, not to be in this one. That's only map number 1, though, here in our grand final. We have at least 1 more, potentially a third behind it. We're going to throw it on to a break. We'll see you soon.
There we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready. It's the second map coming up here at the African Esports Championship. It was Tunisia taking the first map in great fashion.
Yeah, honestly, it was just pretty simple, right? There's no real conversation that needs to be had about kind of how good they were. We've already touched on all the points. Every player stepped up, all had their moments, all looked fantastic throughout, and now we have to look on the other side and say, is there actually anything left in the locker for South Africa? Have they got something to be able to find some success here? Because I mean, they didn't get a single round in that second half. Not good signs, right? And it did feel like they mentally checked out. And we need to see now within this sort of 10, 15-minute break in between the maps where they've had a time to step away, have a conversation, have a sit down, drink a water, just say, right, how are we going to come in towards map number 2? How are we going to make this work for us? Because they're running out of opportunities. This is obviously, you know, we already know both of them have locked their spots in towards the World Esports Championship. That's the main thing. But the bragging rights to be seen as the best team in Africa, to also get the extra $5,000 as well, which goes all to the players. I mean, these small things like this matter, they mean a lot, right? And I think this is the big thing for us, where for South Africa, it's sort of in a similar kind of favor in terms of how things were in Namibia. In the game that matters most, they just feel like they're not quite here, or not at least online just yet.
Yeah, a bit of a shame, right? Because we know they could do it individually. Like, we've seen that before. Like, they have the players to be able to step it up. But I think Tunisia just came out with, like, you know, a much stronger pace and a lot more, like, confidence, perhaps, in some of these fights. It was pretty exciting. We'll see if South Africa are going to be ready for the second map. It's coming up here with South Africa starting on the CT side. Tunisia, they're going to be on the T side. And it all comes down to this here. If Tunisia, if they can start well, if they win this map, they get to crown themselves champions.
Yes, in the groups as well. Tunisia took this map relatively comfortably, 13-10 over in those groups. So we're looking to see whether there's going to be more of the same for them. This is a map in which we know they've played a couple of times throughout the groups already, and they look very decent. They played it in the semi-final as well, and it's more of the same. In comes the XE, also probably going to be first contact.
There's a smoke there on XE in the back, so he's got a chance to maybe slow them down. Nice shot at the beginning, but they're going to get overwhelmed. Fallas, 2 big shots, a third man at the bomb site. And he gets completely run down. They did have a smoke at the back. I'm kind of curious about the idea that, like, I thought they would have thrown it down to try and
slow them down.
Yeah, buy some time, right? But actually, it's thrown now. The T's picked it up, and now they've thrown it for CT spawn. There is a kit back there, but I doubt they're going to get close enough to really do anything with it. Wriggler, nice shot from Tristan. That's a start, but Tunisia shouldn't want to fight here. They should want to slow this down as much as they can. Like, no reason to take this battle. That's another kill for Fallas. He's up to 3 by now, and Deadshot going to get run down. Good start for Tunisia.
Really nice stuff. There's absolutely no complaints about that at all. And the one thing we have to look over towards Africa is just sort of what went wrong in that small little thing. XE has a smoke. If he drops it as the T side smokes come in, it completely slows it down. And it also allows Awesome to swing out from that CT smoke, play behind their smoke in and around pool, right? And then work at that position, but they just don't. XE doesn't throw it. He gets caught, and then, yeah, like you said, right? Tunisia pick it up and use it themselves. And it's actually the way in which they set themselves up in a super strong post plant. So really well done from Tunisia. No complaints again. I mean, this is a side who are on some emphatic form. They had a 6-all first half and won the map 13-6. That says it all. A really good showing. 7 rounds in a row to close it out, and now 8 in a row, including that pistol. You really have no complaints at all. They won both pistols as well in the first half. And now they won third. They're 3 for 3.
Force up in this round for South Africa.
It's a big call.
It
First
is a big
time
call.
we've seen it, actually, on the card. So we've seen a CT side force off the back of losing a round. And I think for South Africa, they just want to take gambles, which I don't inherently hate. I feel like, you know, doing things a normal way isn't working.
It starts out really well. Remind goes down, a really quick burst coming out. Awesome swings for it, and it very nearly is a double kill there. You can see Potay's very low on health. He's going to get dropped here. Force up is working out brilliantly. Some of them, I mean, they were very, very close, but it doesn't matter. You just need to get it over the line here. Fallas in a 1 versus 4. Now, theoretically, you can make it a very quick 1 versus 2. But they have fallen back already. Trying to stay out of the line of fire here. And a third man's rotating in with a deagle. So, yeah, I think the job just got a lot harder. Good stuff here for South Africa. Not showing themselves. Not really exposing anything. Fallas going to get shut down. And South Africa, very important round.
Yeah, they needed that. They absolutely needed that. You lose that round there, and we're talking about them going 2, 3, potentially even 4-0 down. I mean, at that point, it starts to get very, very awkward indeed. However, they don't. so it changes the narrative, right? It will mean now with only the one casualty in that round too. It's a very clean one taken from them. A couple of upgrades potentially to be picked up too, whether it's Galils. I don't know if there was an AK. I don't think I saw one, but at least Galils, which are upgrades over the MP9s, for example, and you'll take them every day of the week. But they actually didn't pick up any of them. So there's still good MP9s across the board. One M4 for Awesome.
Interesting, yeah.
And then Tunisia, they of course have to force buy themselves. We're in double eco territory, so they don't really get too much of a decision here. They have to buy in and hope this sort of Tech9 round can work. However, it did work in towards that previous match. Not going to count them out.
Let's see what they got for us. Tech9 is typically the first kill is going to be the one that really is important. Like if you lose it on the Tech9, then I think the whole round falls apart. But if you find the opening, you never really know. Grenade is good, but not enough to slow them down. There's going to be a flash coming over from Remind in the middle, and they're going to go. I think the smoke even helps them actually. Flashbang looking good so far. There's Shadonch with the one kill, and you can see how overwhelming it is. Remind trying to do a little bit of work here, but yeah, just buy some time. You don't want to be fighting this. It's no point. Yeah, run away. Tristan's hunting him down, but really smart play for Remind, showing us he's a high caliber player. They re-smoked towards the library, and the bomb is planted it. They've even picked up an M4. It's a really good round so far for Tunisia, but it's not won yet.
No, it's a good little post plant that they put themselves in though. Double stacking towards Big Pit, 1 or 4 to an A. Will they expect the second? Yes, they do. Slash and Tristan to find. Remind finds 2. Valles will be caught. Remind all that's left. And he's trying to make this a possibility. 1 versus 1, and he's tagged down low. Tap on towards the bomb. Goes for the swing, and he's not committing to it. Slash will get the kill, but I don't know if he has enough time. Picks up a kit, and he actually will, I think, just squeeze it out. It's going to be hella close, but he's got it. My God. Makes that work by the finest of margins, but Tunisia's force buy really puts a lot of pressure on there.
Man, if that kit is even like 1 step further towards, he just can't make it. That's sick. Yeah, but well played.
Now we've got to look on the other side as well, but what the players, I mean, we're going to double force here for Tunisia. I don't hate the idea because we've just got it down to 1 versus 1 where the other guy on the other side was 1 bullet away from death, right? So it's so close in that situation. We've got a bomb on, a little bit extra loss bonus. The force buy is even better than what they've just had. I don't completely hate it.
No, me neither. I think it makes sense given the circumstances here. 2-1, and Slash just getting run down. At least it should be another bomb plant here. You're just picked up now. Although I say that, grenades are running around the corner. Going to put some pressure on, yeah. So bomb is planted. The question is if they can do more damage. If they get it down to another 1 versus 1, then they're just going to force again on the Tunisia inside. There's no point in stopping now. If they win it, it is kind of disastrous in South Africa, all things considered. Another good smoke goes down. There's a single flashbang on Remind.
Deadshot gets tagged down to 1 now. None as he gets caught on that banana rotate. That makes it difficult. South Africa left down to 2 of Awesome and Tristan have got to bail them out. They really need them to step up here. Numbers in the advantage weekday. First fight's not good. Tristan left all alone, and he just couldn't do it. Too many bodies to find, too many fights to take, and a force buy converted in response by Tunisia. That is massive. That's a really decent response taken by them, and hence why we said that call to go back into a force there is the right one. They put that previous round down to a 1 versus 1, which they lose, but they know that they've done so much economical damage over towards South Africa that their buy is going to be awkward regardless. So they know they can go in with sort of similar levels of firepower, and they overwhelm them. Really nicely done. A couple of fights which make us kind of question for maybe the comms over towards South Africa, but this is a really good way for them to tie this game back up, and of course now sort of break that economy over towards South Africa, but they themselves going to force buy in.
Yeah, probably would have been a double eco, so they just decided to go for it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
The FAMAS that Awesome had is already dead though. So that was like a bit of a surprise potentially. It's picked up by Tristan here, but man, if they don't secure this the first rally here, like between the two teams, it's going to be so tough. South Africa, they could be dropping quite far behind.
Yeah, absolutely. This could be a bit of an awkward start. Oh, running and gunning Deagle. What is that from Slash? He has absolutely no right to walk away with that kill. He was still moving. There was no counter strafing there. There was no snap tap or none of that. He was definitely running.
Yeah, that's kind of the difference between playing Counter-Strike on LAN and online. Like sometimes you hit some shots that you wouldn't even try to do it in an online game. But okay. I do like this from Tunisia. They think, all right, let's just go here instead into the FAMAS, but good trade, leaving 1 player alone. Dead shot here with the Eagle. Needs the headshot right now. Some good damage. They will overwhelm him. And again, for South Africa, is such a brutal attempt at a retake here. Maybe there's a rifle to find at a banana. If they can get that, it might be better.
Yeah, the guy that slashed at a running and guns, there might be a...
oh, did they throw it away? I think they did.
That's smart, they did. I don't know if they can't seem to find it, so they must have just thrown it away.
Yeah.
That's really actually, that's good heads-up Counter-Strike being played there. And for Tunisia, really good couple of rounds coming back to back, which is going to put a lot of pressure on towards South Africa. And they sort of have to save it. There's no point giving this retake a go. Yes, they've got a smoke and an armor and a kit and all the rest, but I just don't think it's worthwhile. You haven't got the rifles to be able to compete in this sort of round. Exits would be great. Even that might be a bit of a luxury. I say that though. Slash should hear these steps. Maybe remind. Might get caught, but no, Slash opts against peeking. And it will be Tunisia finding yet another round. Taking that lead early in towards their map pick. And of course, off the back of a real dominant display as well. I don't really blame this. Yeah, so the M4 gets dropped there. It must have been either collected or thrown away. But judging by the fact that nobody has it over towards Tunisia, I'm assuming they just threw it away. That is very heads up. They knew there was a possibility. If we're going to go A, and we're going to go A as a pack, they might rotate through banana and have something to work with in a retake. Let's not give them anything to work with. That's good forward thinking.
3-2 scoreline. Again, yeah, like the money is just not there for South Africa at the moment. It's making it very, very brutal.
We got a few Deagles, of course, saved over from that previous round. I'm not really expecting, once again, unfortunately, anything in this one. That should be Tunisia 4-2. And this is sort of exactly how things looked in the first half as well. It took South Africa actually a while to get into this. Hang on a moment, though. Also, with the Zeus. We'll get him. Now goes Riegler. That's an annoying way to fall, and Chidon doesn't really want to test that. Now, especially that they've picked up an AK-2. And honestly, as well,
it's pretty funny.
They might even just save the AK, especially if they lose the B site. They might just think, hey, this AK is actually just worthwhile keeping alive.
Yeah, I mean, I say that, but Pote moving up. AK's been picked up again, though. It's at the corner. Got to be careful here, Pote. You might be giving up another kill. There's still a third man in the bomb side that you probably won't expect.
Yeah.
It feels cleared at this point in time. They're kind of looking everywhere. Unfortunately, he just has the USP. The AK is right out there. Oh, he would love to pick it up. The bomb is being brought in. The question is, can he get more than one? It has to be a double here.
They've already cleared Cold Zeros. They actually might not expect him here. But now, it might be all that's happened on the side. There's the first. Can't get the second. He has aim punched as well. Just throws off that crosshair.
Yeah.
It was actually a bad idea. He picked up the AK and he repositioned himself into a position he knows they've just cleared. He heard them running towards site and clear Cold Zero. So he then goes and plays that spot. And then they do overlook him, but unfortunately it just doesn't make a difference in the round itself. They have too many numbers over South Africa to make a difference here. Deagle, Kit, and a Molly. Can't be caught. That's done from Remind. 4-2. Not a bad way to start off your own map pick, especially being a map up already. I mean, if we're being completely honest, Anders, I don't really feel like there's too much of a competition so far throughout this game. Tunisia have just looked great. I mean, they definitely plugged a lot of the errors that we saw even to get to a third map in the groups, right? There's none of that here. It looks like two completely different caliber sides.
It does, and I think like the confidence at the start to to keep forcing and eventually having that force work out, just it makes a big difference here. So curious, 4-2. South Africa. Now is not the time to be resting. Do that after the tournament.
Yeah.
You want to be stepping it up right here. Dead shots yet to get a kill. Bit of a slow start for him, but with the smoke, they get Remind, and they'll take down Phallus as well, so this is starting to look a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah, good banana control being taken here, and Awesome makes a move of his own, catches Riga, doesn't get traded, somehow gets out of there, he's low. Tristan will still fall. Maybe something still to work with, but Charles is just so low. He's a dead man walking, 1 foot in the grave, and had absolutely no chance of sort of making that play into his apartment to work in his favor. Now for Potai, what do we actually do here? I don't really think he's got too many options. The only thing you really can do is hopefully just make him a little bit expensive, but winning a round feels completely out of the realms of possibility.
Yeah.
This is the bomb, though.
He's got the bomb, but I don't know. A couple of his teammates are kind of low on money. You could even say, I mean, it kind of is boring to save with 50 seconds on the clock on the T side, but in theory, wouldn't necessarily be a crazy choice. Drop it over to Riegler in the next round and kind of make it work that way. It's doable. We'll see. It looks like he is inching closer to try and find a bit of an impact here. Was a chance, I think, but now he's walking into the crossfire. He should be dead. Surprised that he's still alive after that one. Doing the best he can at the moment. There's a little bit of effect. Get another one, and it might have been on. We'll go down. So, all right. Good job on South Africa. Like, 3 players alive. You make it through the round, you're going to be happy with that.
There was a brief moment. That CT player was like 1 point of HP, so definitely a brief moment where he could have made it a little bit more expensive, but in the end, yeah, it doesn't make too big of a difference. So, nice work. I think a round really needed by South Africa. You lose that, we're actually getting, once again, super concerned. Talking about them being in a dicey spot and all of the rest. You will see bias coming out both ways. So you're back in towards the AKs, full belts, util, all of the rest. But this is sort of an interesting spot that we put ourselves in because of the economic situation both ways. Neither's had a super long-term econ built up. So these rounds, sort of every single one we've had so far, especially because of the success of the forces, are kind of swing rounds in themselves. And you know, over towards Africa, they have enough for a buy-in towards the next, but if they lose 2 rounds in a row, once again, they're completely reset. So they have no longevity in terms of the buys. They've got to just win raw aim duels and raw gun rounds to make this first half competitive. So this here, though, for them, I don't think they're really lacking any confidence so far. Remind, he was our MVP in towards map number 1. He's come out and he's putting up sort of similar numbers once again, having that impact.
Yeah, he's doing great work here. See if they can get the entry that they were looking for in the previous round on Banana. We know it's a very central position on the map. Wriggler, been a slower start for him on this map. Yeah. He's got 2 kills. That was the second right there. Oh, what? No, that's the round 1.
That's
instantly.
It. Safe.
Yeah, no doubt about that one.
I'd be surprised if they even go remotely near the B side. There's just no point to Africa. Keep hold of these double AKs. That is a big round to take, and a big statement of a round as well in the sense of how they took it. The opening fight gets taken by Riegler. He just catches Awesome overextending. Small thing, Awesome. He didn't have an AWP there, so I don't really think you should be fighting that regardless. Definitely not against AKs who can play in towards underpass or over towards ramp where it's sort of headshot angles.
Yeah.
But can't fight in towards top and honor. They just get caught overextending, right? They both play up towards top car and they both get spammed.
See how much hunting Tunisia wants to do. They don't have almost any money themselves, so yeah. I think you make a strong argument here that it's risky, but oh my God. They get rid of one of the AKs, see if they can guess where Tristan is going to be at. If he goes down as well, I mean, it's a wipeout here for South Africa, and it's a nice adjustment. He wasn't favored in that fight, Tristan, at all. They're still coming for him, and the fading seconds of the round is Wriggler to pick up the kill, and everything is working out very well right now. Tunisia, they're getting there.
He didn't hear the door open, I think. Maybe I'm just assuming in terms of kind of the chaos of the arena and all the rest. He just didn't hear that small thing. Door opens, but he doesn't look that way. Unfortunately, that'll cost him his life. If he was posted, he might have been all right. But this is that one move that basically wins in the round immediately. Just a fight towards top and honor. Both players overextend, get caught, and I think in a matter of moments, we would question. I mean, Xe and Slash try and fight together, and they did have a pop flash, which was completely unaffected to the guy on towards logs. So a simple thing like that, but really well done. 5-3. Deadshot gets a Zeus kill. They're all right with the Zeus kills, given that. Awesome found the earlier one. Deadshot gets his here.
Bit of a stack. Oh, he's ready for it, though. Remind. It's going to say a bit dangerous when you're leading with the AK-47, but not a big deal here. Deadshot from Act 10. He wins that fight, which is a bit funny, but yeah, it shouldn't get him any closer to actually winning the round.
Not of him being tagged, and also not of him having no armor either, right? He shouldn't have a look in towards his round, but he's got an AK. In a 1 versus 2, it's not completely impossible. Maybe you got to give him a chance here, potentially, but on the other side too, he has no util, no kit that we mentioned, but there is util over towards Tunisia that they can use if they need. They've got a molly for the bomb. The second any contact. Tag will come through. Deadshot's probably a dead man walking. I think now is about trying to save. And even saving, I feel like, is unlikely. Gets caught by Potai on that tail end. Tunisia, this is already a pretty good C-side, being completely honest. They're now up towards 6 already. Got no complaints. I mean, we really are, once again, seeing South Africa just sort of getting overwhelmed in the situation that they find themselves in. 6-round T-side Inferno is not bad. This is statistically the most even map in the pool, 52% CT-sided. So a 6-all is actually sort of a handshake of where both sides can be happy, but if we're being completely honest, there's no way Tunisia stop at 6. Not the way they're playing right now. We're looking about them. They might even get the likes of 7, but more towards the likes of 8, potentially even 9. Because they are just on a different level, a different plane right now than South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, they have all the momentum at the moment here.
before.
Okay, with the opening, do they realize that if Exa goes down, that's it. The round is done once again. They really can't try to retake this. Good spray, but even better return here. Remind will get the kill, and he feels it. Yep, I'm going to go for it. Secures the bomb site, makes the crossing here. Bomb is a little bit further away, but is so questionable. I don't mind. Oh, my God. I was going to say, I don't mind them sticking around to get a kill. If South Africa got a couple of kills there, then they can try for the retake, but once again, it's over.
That was Tristan posted with an AWP, and he gets out-aim-dueled by an AK on the one-tap. Reminds hunting. He knows that there's an AWP round this corner. He smells blood in the water. I don't blame him. Awesome missed shot. He goes for seconds, and he gets away with it somehow. Not sure how he's got away with that. Still desperately trying to stay alive. He's definitely feels like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place because he knows there was a little bit of a hunt. He doesn't know how many are hunting him through CT, and now he knows there's one towards under as well. He needs to be a little careful, a little cautious as he tries to escape with this AWP intact. Deadshot, of course, already tucked in towards Cubby. Have that M4. Tunisia find 7. They're going to guarantee, bare minimum, a lead heading in towards that second half. And the fact that they've already won all the pistols so far, you sort of, I would not assume, but it feels very high percentage that they'll take the fourth one as well. It's a lot to like. Penultimate round of the half. If South Africa don't get at least 5, I'm going to be very worried. If they get 4 or less, it could already be the beginning of the end.
Yeah, it's starting to shape up that way. It's also, it's all over in like one battle at the start of the round, right? There are no CTs falling back into secondary positions.
Yeah.
Like you get a kill, you can just, like it's wipe out, and then that's it. Like they just can't recover it. So pretty brutal, pretty hard to deal with. We'll see what they got. Round number 11, and it's another default slow start here. I say that as Pate. We'll get the kill in the middle. Tristan, out-dueled again by the AK, leaving one player on the A side. Wriggler here takes the kill, and we'll see what Remind. Oh, he's standing in the corner, ready. Would have almost taken down Slash there, but this round maybe could be won now. A player in the pit. Oh, Deadshot. Yeah, he's looking the wrong way. He thought they were coming in from the other side. That's a really good play.
That's tough. That's tough. I'm really confused as to what happened with Orson. He's back turned in the open. I don't know if he just completely overlooked that second mid angle, but he gets caught by the orb. But Poto takes a freebie. And speaking of freebies, Wriggler will get one of his own to close it. Slash gets caught at that tail end. 8-2-3. What a first half of Counter-Strike out from Tunisia. They are a completely different side. And unfortunately, so is South Africa, but in a completely opposite way. Awesome just doesn't really expect the guy second mid. He maybe obviously has the coverage in towards mid in a way, but then Wriggler gets that trade. So everything slots itself into place for the Tunisian side. And yeah, this is a wonderful first half of Counter-Strike. And unfortunately, for South Africa, they are a shadow of their former selves. In the semis, they look great. In the groups, they finished second behind Tunisia, but they pushed it to a third map and all the way, the full distance in a third map. And we just haven't got any of that here in towards our little rematch. Looks like we have a little bit of a tech pause, so
fair enough.
We will just throw it. But I mean, what do we do here? You can kind of see there's some forlorn faces over towards Africa. They do look and feel kind of mentally just a little bit checked out, unfortunately. And what can you do?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's very hard. Like, that's where you want like a strong leader. Or you want like
a big voice, right?
Yeah, like somebody with the experience of the team that can kind of get the team fired back up again. It can be very hard to do though. Once the energy, like the oxygen, kind of gets sucked out of the room, it can be very hard to get back into it.
A little cheeky wink there. But, I mean, honestly, you can see the kind of difference in terms of expressions over towards Africa. And Tunisia laughing,
having a good
life. Yeah, exactly. They're really enjoying things over there. And also, we do have quite a few Tunisian fans here as well. They've been pretty loud all the way through map 1 and map 2. So it's really cool to see. Good support for Tunisia. I know when we did the opening ceremony, they mentioned, they were kind of saying, the Moroccans, are good friends, Tunisia, obviously being neighbors and whatnot, so it's obviously a very good relationship. And also in terms of the CS teams as well, I think from what I can understand, they play against each other a lot, they know each other very, very well. The scene, being it sort of quite small in a sense, it does mean you build up a little bit of a repertoire between the nations up here in North Africa. So it's really cool to see, honestly, it's really sick. And also, it also makes sense probably why teams like Egypt, for example, are also, they play in a very similar style of play and also were pretty decent themselves. You saw them in that third place playoff. They were really talented.
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of local support even for Tunisian. So they're cruising through this game right now. They're having such a good time. Remind again, top of the board, making it all work at the moment here. What have they got for us? 12th round, the last of the half. South Africa a must-win round, and they must win the pistol on the second half as well. It's a lot of big tasks ahead of them at the moment here. Ryan setting himself up, bit of a flashbang, wants to take the peek here. MP9 up close, but oh, the timing is ridiculous. Good return from Slash, but still, unfortunate way to get started in the round.
And these are these small little errors that are actually costing South Africa. One has Yuto in hand, the other one's not holding him. So there's that gap that Remind just takes. Deadshot, though, will get one of his own. His numbers are still pretty good. He'd be a bit of a move to be made as well. Tristan needs to be careful. Any peek he makes, he could be in trouble. Has spotted his shoulder. Molotov will force on a bit of a fight. Nade behind him and smoked himself in. This is a bold play here. Riegler might get a bit of a gap. He goes back in towards apartments. Doesn't spot anything. He is the insurance policy. And he looks down. He will get a steal. Looking for a second, but he can't find it falling.
That would have been really sick. Imagine if he would have picked that one up. They know that he's down there, but they're running out of time. Only 30 seconds left here. Pate, he doesn't realize, but there's already a guy in the bomb site. Great rotation from Slash here to help out. South Africa look destined to take this round. Phallus, again, just hiding back there is so like Tristan. He's done so much work just being alive in the back.
Yeah.
Absolutely annoying, but great work for South Africa. They needed this round, and they need a lot more.
Yeah, that's the right way to go about it for Tristan. You don't need to fight there. Right? I think the main thing is he knows he's being covered on the cross. So he knows that if his teammate fights, you basically fight off contact. You don't fight off your own sort of instincts. But this is the only mistake that kind of nearly became very, very costly. Remind finds a gap. Exy should be at least having a gun up if he knows his teammates are holding for him, or Slash should be holding for him, one or the other. But him having Yuto in hand, if you're going to have Yuto in hand, it's fine. But the main thing is that Slash is going to relay the information of, oh, he's crossed, or this, that, and the other. So maybe nearly became a little bit awkward. Thankfully, not to be. 8-4. Like I said, you know, for South Africa, anything less than 5 I was a little bit worried about, and unfortunately that is the case, but at least they got something at the tail end of the half. The only unfortunate thing that so far, pistols have not been their friend. They're 0 for 3 on pistols so far.
Yeah, and winning one right now probably decide the outcome of the finals here for sure. Tunisia pick it up. I don't see South Africa bring it back. If South Africa win it, I would say there's a chance. Like they can do something here, so I won't rule it out, but my God, it's going to be important. And I like what they're setting up here. It's going to be the smoke-flash combination, so they're probably going to be smoking library, flashing their way over, and then kind of going for it. Oh, nice start. Still, the bomb is going to be planted here.
True. Oh my God, he gets drive-by deep, but then Pose are going to get a kill. This is on. Both sides are taking damage.
Yeah. No kit on the CT side, so on that front, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Damage on Exe. Not sure it's the biggest deal in the world here. It'll be about getting onto the bomb and defusing it very, very quickly. Now, it's planted at the back of the site, which is a bit awkward for this pit position. So far, so good in terms of the afterplant here. South Africa have done enough here, no question about it. That was the must-win round. If they wanted to have a chance, they needed this one.
Yeah, Remind knows as well, there's no point sticking around. He's 3 points of HP. That half armor, even the small thing of that alone, is actually maybe a little bit of a win in itself. It's not going to make probably a grand difference in terms of the next. My expectation is that the buy will be minimal. The 2 players dying at the end, though, might tempt a force buy. We saw them do it in, well, we saw force buy earlier, right, which was successful in South Africa. So Tunisia might say, well, you guys done it, maybe we can. But I personally would be looking at a bit of a lower buy here if I was them, and looking at the likes of kind of just maybe slightly throwing this one away and then saying, right, the second we get the guns out, we know we're the better side. Let's just get that out as early as possible. We'll see. Yeah, it's going to be that. So a little bit of a lower buy, couple of upgraded pistols, nothing too major. 157, 2 P250s, nothing too drastic. It will be most likely South Africa taking a 6th, which, like you said, you take a pistol, maybe there's a chance, right? You get a 6th there, it's 1 gun round between you guys being 2 rounds down and actually tying the game up.
Yeah, I think there's a decent chance right now. Like I would say they should be able to mentally reset themselves a bit. Win a couple of rounds here. Remind, good shot. Oh, he gets a second. I still think they're going to be okay here. The lack of armor on the CT side, I mean, you should be winning this. The MAC-10, we'll see how far it can go. Sneaking up there. Good start to it. And it's just a USP on the other side, I believe.
Is it a Zeus? No, I thought maybe there might be Zeus in, but seems not to be the case.
Oh, I say that. Chadon's actually good for that one. Trying to do some more damage, and he'll slowly cut them down. They'll get the kill on Bate, who's sneaking around the back, but remind, he's here with the AK kid. He clutched it for his team. Oh, they spot him out. Good eyes here on Exa. The spray's coming through, and that's a nice job. They got close, but they make it out.
Yeah, I think it is a bit of a sigh of relief, though, for South Africa. That's a no-buy, which goes down to 2. I mean, taking 3 casualties like that will definitely maybe a bit of a shock to the system, more expensive than they would have wanted. And being that's around that Tizzy weren't expecting anything from anyway, 3 out of 5 kills, you're not really complaining too much. It will be a buyout as well for Tizzy heading in towards the next. This is where we get to see them do what they do best. What they bring to the table for us. They're going to have rifles out, they're going to have to use all the kits and all the rest. And let's just see how they like to play this. The banana control's obviously been a big point of contention. And so far, it's not exactly been great, both on T and CT side for South Africa. That's the main thing I need to see them plug.
Grenades landing on Banana, but not really much being done. It's Remind to begin with. Right to the smoke, he takes down Awesome. And yeah, back it out.
Guess the gun. Yeah, Khalil. Khalil's better than Famas in most people's opinions, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do like to see Tunisia kind of disengaging from the battle here a little bit. That was something that in the past, they were just aggressive all the time, right? Like, don't do it. Bit of a setup here in the middle. Crossfire with 3 people showing up and a lot of damage being output. Remind almost taking the kill there, and I think they're chewing them up right now. And there just isn't the money on the South African side because they had to struggle to win the other rounds. So they're going to be saving almost immediately. Well, they will be saving immediately here.
Yeah.
Tristan, the 1 versus 5. My God.
Beautiful work, isn't it?
It is really good work here for Tunisia.
Oh, beautiful little teamwork there. Chadon just flashes perfect. Reminder swinging for the fight. Gets an AK upgrade. Everything that you want to go right is going right. Beautiful stuff, honestly. This is really where Tunisia are starting to kind of get into their bag a little bit, showcasing just how deep the strap goes. And I think a lot of it comes from that man in the middle, right? Potai, I think his calling has been excellent. He's reading South Africa so well. Yes, the individual's doing great, but they understand how South Africa are likely to play this, what their defaults are, what their tendencies are, and how we counter it. So everything for me that Tunisia are doing as a team is a really good showing. And once again, kind of reaffirming the idea. We saw these guys in the open qualifier, flawless, 4-0, didn't drop a single map. And here, in towards the African Esports Championships, are still only dropped 1 map, and that was South Africa in the group. Since then, it's been flawless. I mean, that in itself is just a showcase of dominance, of how good this side actually are. And they are inching closer and closer to being crowned the champion of Counter-Strike 2 here in the entire continent of Africa. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I'm sure that some of the other countries here are going to want to win that title back. I'm sure Egypt are going to be ready next go around. Like, they look really fired up. So South Africa, though, more than anything, seems like a bit of a mental struggle for them at the moment. Just not really believing in it maybe quite enough here. And it's also hard, right? Because they're running into Remind, and he's just completely wild at the moment. He's 18-8.
Just one of those days, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's see if they get through this. It actually could be a really fun round. If they win the first fight, it might be on, but fouls to get 1. The crossfire setup, yeah. I like the idea, honestly, for South Africa. I think it's not a bad call there, but it's too much.
It's beautiful. It really is. Valles does God's work, right? That triple kill is massive. He's getting completely overwhelmed then. He just doesn't fumble under the pressure really at all. Super well played from him. Reminder double just to sort of support him in that push. The eco put to bed nice and easily. And now we are getting to a point where things are becoming incredibly concerning. 10-6. At this point, we're talking about South Africa having 2 gun rounds left in the game. If things continue this current trajectory, 2. That's it. Mine wants to fight. I don't blame him. But it doesn't work out well. Riegler sticks around maybe a little too long. He'll get caught. Opening double. There's the dead shot.
And another kill on top there. Pate go down. I mean, again, for Tunisia, seems like the kind of, you just want to get the killing blow on the whole South African team, just take it all away from them. Yeah, but it backfires a bit. Chadonj and Fallis, they should have no business winning this one. I think Fallis here on the one side, jiggling for Molotov, and just to try and slow them down. Don't really hate it, but again, there's no reason why they should lose this round. Fallis repositioning here. They're all on the other side. It's just too many players. Yeah,
Molly airburst, and for a moment that might have given them a peek, but he just completely deleted. Their guns up, they were ready for that fight. Nicely done, 10-7 now. And a small world in which now potentially South Africa can start getting back into this. We need to see them get probably 2 to 3 gun runs in a row. I mean, I'm really not even really convinced until they get to the likes of 10-all, right? And that's when maybe I can start to have conversations about sort of South Africa getting back in towards this game. But I mean, this is the issue, and we saw this a little bit in towards the first map, is for South Africa, especially that first half when they found rounds, it would be flash in the pan rounds. There was very little consistency. There wasn't those consecutive rounds on the board, so it's so hard to build up momentum and snowball in a positive way. This is where they have to do it. Ever there's going to be a time, basically, to be able to get back into this game, it has to be now. That's a good round taken, flawless, nobody dies, great for the economy, great for the mental state. But we need to see them, and they're going to understand as well that Tunisia are going to have no issues buying back in. They've got to try and make this work for them. We'll see. But yeah, really good round. I think, you know, this small fight early, I don't hate this from Tunisia. They try and do something a little bit proactive in the early round. Maybe, I think, sticking around a little bit too long there, Riegler. I think the second remind falls and he gets tagged down low, just call it and say, right, fine. The second mid's yours, I'll reposition and get some support. But he sticks around, Jiggle peaks a couple too many times, and it cost him his life and ultimately the round in the end. About though, once again for Botai. Everyone's going to make a difference as well. This guy, when he finds his form of the AWP, he's very difficult to stop.
Yeah, we haven't even seen him like we hit in some of the earlier games. Like he was really, really sick with it. It's been a little bit less prevalent in this in the final, but you know, I'm sure he can still land the shots. Battle for Banana is on the way. Is again classic tactical position, so important for South Africa to try and win that fight. Push the CTs back, even if it kills Forte. That's a missed shot there. Give some mid control here for South Africa. Could be interesting. Bomb is quite far back though, so I don't think they're going to go for it. Might just be like you take mid, maybe you turn it into a B split, or maybe you just go back to Banana eventually. That's a
good angle.
Yeah, the flower pot position, very, very powerful, and Wriggler, he's just absolutely decimated them.
Beautiful, beautiful from Wriggler. Might be a little bit more behind it. Good reaction from Exy.
Not needed for Potape. Just don't do that. Again, you're so close to winning the whole championship here. Just, you know, keep it cool. It's a 5 versus 2. Don't give them away back into the round. Mine showing up.
Yeah, Wriggler. I mean, that position normally is like one and done. The fact that he walks away with 3 kills, I think once again also shows where the comms and the gameplay around South Africa is just a little bit cluttered, right? And I think, unfortunately, super costly. Exy all through 1 versus 3. And he will get his kill on the site, but he gets traded immediately. The crossfire is immaculate. And that'll be another round for Tunisia as they inch closer and closer now to the finish line. Of course, the fans out here in lovely Casablanca, Morocco. We've had a bit of time. We went some exploring yesterday. Went to the market, the Medina. It was pretty cool, actually. I got this T-shirt there, the little Casablanca one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, honestly, a pretty cool place.
I must say, yeah, like, you know, our host country here, Morocco, they've been treating us very well. It's been an awesome experience.
Very kind.
In every way. Yeah, like super welcoming, super friendly. That's just been like a huge positive. So, yeah, overall, 10 out of 10, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm with you. 11-7. Time is running out for South Africa. Lose this round. They are financially broken. And mentally, they sort of feel like they're halfway there already. Riegler, first fight could be good. Barrels, toss the shoulder. Running out of ammo. Jump around the corner. It'll cost him his life. Exy somehow, some way, stays alive there.
Chaos is absolutely everywhere. Oh my god, it was a 2-on-5 now. Back into a 2 versus 3 with Exit almost dead. You never really know what could happen here. Yeah, Pote and Chadonge left. If they go down right now, it'll be disastrous for South Africa. Nicely done. Chadonge goes down, and I think that should be enough to secure the round, so 11-8.
Yeah, for both sides, just keep hold of the orb. I don't think there's any worth in terms of fighting around this. And they probably should have maybe a little bit of a buy around this. I mean, Remind, Fallers, they've all got money. Chadonge a little bit lesser. It's only really Rigo is maybe going to struggle in terms of his investment, but we potentially could see him going towards the likes of a Deagle Armor, a bit of util. We've seen it happen before. The only issue is you've got to make a real kind of clear, distinct decision. Are we going to buy around this orb and try and support it, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. Tunisia, have rounds in arrears. They're not under too much pressure just yet.
You can do
it. Then I think feeling very confident, right? Even with the FAMASs and the MP9s, we know they really want to fight. All the other way is you completely don't buy around it, and then you just basically play this sort of protect the president type of vibe, right? Where you just make sure that orb is kept alive in the next round and then towards the next. They do have money, so if they want to go in towards like some double FAMAS, a couple MP9s, I don't think it's an impossible buy to work with. And it's something that we have seen Tunisia will throughout this tournament so far. We shall see. 11-8 though. Slowly but surely South Africa chipping away at the deficit. And at the very least, more competitive than they looked in towards their own map picks. That's all we can ask of them. They at least do feel clued in a little bit more into Inferno than they did on Anubis.
They're keeping within an interesting range where the money could sort of bring them back in here, right? Win a couple of rounds right here.
Yeah.
It's a tied game, more or less. Yeah, it got interesting once again. Pate actually is pushing in front of the Molotovs here. He really, I like this for the AWP. Trying to make the difference. He misses the shot. Now pistol's out, and he can't get it. That needs to be a kill right there. If he would have had it, you never really know. Mine pushing forward. He's picked up the AWP. Oh, it's the right idea. They blow up in the smoke. He gets the kill off. Trying to reposition. Oh, it's disastrous. 3 people at the A-bomb side. If they run this down, like if they just push in with no thought, they could be in trouble.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And he's going to smoke and relocate. I like this. Remind, he's going to be here for the battle.
Oh my god, yeah, he might actually catch them on the long cross. The timing is actually perfect. Oh my god, Remind. Single-handedly a one-man turret, and he's walking away with all the kills. Riga going to find one with the P250. Surely we're not about to be ecoed with one saved orb. Remind wants to peek from Library. He might just catch him. He's now in towards Big Bear. Remind, he will forward. There's 3 more players to find. This one's not getting off the ground. Surely not. They peek in tandem. They should be fine. Exi has somehow made something of this. The last man, will he clear Fales? The answer is no. And how Tunisia walked away with that round. That is ridiculous. They have no right ever to be walking away with a round like that. But Remind, take a bow. That is brilliant individual prowess from him.
Yeah, it's really, really sick. I mean, that's the kind of star impact right there. I gotta say as well, it's funny. 3 people left alive with pistols on the site, and they don't quite fight at the same time.
Yeah.
But Fales, I mean, you could almost say he's baiting his teammates, but in a way, like, it works so well because, like,
who's expecting it?
You're not expecting for a 3rd player to be there.
Yeah, especially because he's already killed the Coldzera player. He's like, there can't be a lower Coldzera player. So, yeah, it's kind of like, it's sort of so unexpected, it's brilliant in a way.
Yeah. Look at what they have to play with. Yeah. 1 Tech-9, 3 Mac-10s, 1 Galil.
Best of luck, barely even any util as well. Haven't even pulled off an execute yet, and all they've got is 1 smoke, 1 nade. No flashes. And that smoke, if they're going to go towards B, has to go towards CT. If they're going towards... I mean, I even think just going A here in general feels like a risk in itself. They just haven't got the util to actually go out. No flashes. How are they actually going to get out on the site itself?
Yeah, and if Tunisia are going to play it slow like they are right now, not giving them any fights, it'll be very, very tricky.
They're keeping all the util in the back pocket too. They know that South Africa in these defaults are going to slow things down, so they're keeping util in hand for retakes or even just to stop them executing. This is super well played. Yeah.
It's incendiary. Doesn't touch anyone, so you don't hear the burn damage. Otherwise, they might have rotated someone over already. I mean, there is a way. If you get the first Mac-10 kill here, you could win the round very quickly. But it is going to be down to that first one. Good job on Slash. Picks it up and down in the pit. I'm sure Riga... Oh, my God! How is he not dead? How did he get 3 kills? That should have been over. Now, a chance to win the whole championship here for Tunisia.
Nade breaks open the spot. Dead shot will find a shot on towards Remind. Open a retake's always difficult, but a slight gap in that smoke might just give them a chance. Potai spots his head. He's waiting for it to poke up as well, like whack-a-mole. The second it does, but he misses the shot. Tristan's somehow going to walk away with a kill.
I have no idea how Fales here. He didn't see the footsteps either, and he's getting shot in the back. I can't believe it. South Africa, they had no business whatsoever winning that round. That is wild.
How? How have they walked away with that? Is it, what, 2v4? And both of the South African players are 1 foot in the grave. How have they possibly made that even a potential? Riegler does so well in towards pit here, walking away somehow with 3 kills. They line up behind each other as they're jumping out of apartments, so he just gets the double. But I think for Potai, he's so close, but just that slight little bit over towards the left. He hits that shot, retakes on, rounds probably won, games probably won, but he doesn't. Counter-Strike is a game of fine margins, 12-9. Tunisia broken in terms of the finances. So South Africa should get a 10th here, and maybe game's still on here.
That is super crazy. I was not expecting it. Slash doing some good work in this round, but yeah, this is just about some focus here for South Africa.
Yeah.
Don't lose too much. Find a way to steady the whole team. Shadon chance with the Deagle. Going to be too much. So yeah, 10 to 12. I don't know. The money is not that great for Tunisia, to be honest. It's kind of some tough calls to be made right now.
Yeah. Do we want to buy here or buy for the final round? I think it's sort of the big question that internally you make in this decision. Do we want to sort of maybe half buy this one and, you know, half buy to have a decent amount of success and then full buy next, especially if we get the chance at an North? Or do you want to full buy here? Looks like we're going to be full buying. This is, yeah, it's a real big call to be making. Chadonge MP9, Riegler MP9, Famas out for Fales, and Remind, maybe M4 half armor potentially for him. He knows it's sort of, for the most part, AKs in the side. I don't know what we're going to go for. But the util belt, that definitely won't be an M4. So, yeah, real big call for them to be making. Unfortunately, though, before we get to see what we're going to go for, it's tech pause. But, yeah, even still, this is a really big decision that we're in. I honestly, for me, at least, I always play the percentage style. That's at least my sort of, my favorite way of playing Counter-Strike, because it is sort of the way that makes the most sense. But I would low buy this one. A few upgraded pistols, nothing too inherently crazy. Maybe a rifle, right? We've seen that become very popular in CS2. And then full buy in towards the next round and have the AWP out for the likes of Potai, have the rifles alongside it, and all the rest. But yeah, they've gone for the big call of the full buy here, and the fact that they haven't got a lot of firepower. You lose this, we're talking about overtime.
Yeah, it's looming. It's there.
Yeah.
Get into overtime. Not impossible that South Africa could start to really feel a little bit different about the game. Like, should get them fired up. Wow, I mean, some of these rounds have been wild. Seems like Tunisia could have maybe won it already, but yeah, they're enjoying their time on stage, Tunisia. Like, you'd see them looking down on the crowd, enjoying everything.
Yeah, they're loving it. It's great. It's great to see. They've got a really good kind of support group out here, sitting in the front rows, and that is pretty sick to see. And, of course, it helps that they're playing really great Counter-Strike as well. Of course, tech pause. Unfortunately, heading in towards one of the final rounds. Well, potentially one of the final rounds. Who knows? This could have overtime potentially on the cards as well. If Tunisia do go for this full buy, it will be what I feel is a big risk, and a risk maybe not worth taking. And we shall see. And although we move around the fan base and we see what's what, it seems like a tech issue over towards South Africa, judging by a couple of players stood up there. So hopefully you can get that one fixed in a moment. I think we've lost a couple of players over there. But for now, I'm looking at this and saying, what have South Africa got left? And this is the best opportunity they've had at making a game out of this and potentially pushing this towards overtime, maybe even pushing it to a third, right? If they're able to somehow dig deep and lock in, it's not completely out of the realms of possibility.
Well, let's be honest too. Like, if they get into a third map, that's where the mental for Tunisia is really going to be tested, right? Because you've already been through the emotion of saying it's pretty much won. Like, we've done it. And then you have to realize, oh, wait, we were celebrating too early.
Yeah.
Now we have to get back into it. All right. They look focused. They look, set up for it. But yeah, a couple of players disconnected.
Yeah.
Get it back online, and we'll get the game ready for you guys.
Yeah. Who even knows what the issue may be. Seems like for the most part, everybody's getting back in. Everybody's sitting down over towards Africa. So it should be only a small one. We can get things back on the way.
Yeah.
Admins are looking like we're cleaning up the majority of the issues, whatever they may be. And then we can get things back on the way. But yeah, like we said, right, so because of this buy coming in for Tunisia, it is a risky one. And I think in having it, it really will test them in terms of you lose that, what's then approaching towards the next round where once again we're talking at most SMGs, and then how we maybe going to make something work coming forward. Of course, here in Casablanca, deep in map 2, Tunisia have already taken the first map off their opponent Anubis with ease, right? 13-6, flawless on that second half. There wasn't even a competition there. Anything but in towards this second. It really has been a great game. These two sides at least being competitive the way it was in the groups. That was a 3-map affair that went the distance. This one has the potential of being maybe even more of the same.
That's what we wanted for this one, right? We really wanted the 3 maps to find a real champion here and really get everyone tested. But
For sure.
Tunisia just looks so fired up at the moment. All right, we got a little bit of South African representation, I believe.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
it seems like, at least from what I can see on the HUD, people are back in the server and all of the good stuff. So, no complaints really at all so far. I can hear and see a couple of purchases being made. So that is good signs. It feels like we will be getting back underway in a moment. I can see as well, I mean, obviously you guys can as well on the stage, that most people are setting up in the favor of Tunisia. So they feel like it might be getting towards the end of this game, but we're not confirmed just yet. At least for the moment. We'll have to see. Also, these sort of breaks as well, in a weird way, can work for and against a team like South Africa, who've actually been pulling off a little bit of a comeback, and they were starting to heat up. This can sometimes ice you out a little bit, where you're like, all you want to do is just play, right? You don't even want to attack pause on the other side, because it can sort of slow things down a little bit. You just want to get back into every single round and keep things going. But when you have a tech pause like this, it can sort of slightly slow you down. Maybe you overthink things. Maybe you think, right, how should I approach this? And you approach it wrong. So we'll see whether it affects Africa. This really just shows the discipline and kind of the level of this side for South Africa, because they should at least understand that in some way they're coming with a better buy. Whether, regardless of whether it's a force or not, they could have a better investment. They should know this, right? So then it's about how we can approach this to make it work. But we are back on the way. 1 M4, 1 FAMAS, triple MP9.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a ballsy call.
Well, let's see if it is going to be worth it. Again, it's a 3-man setup towards the banana position. Oh, they're hunting it down. Awesome, in a lot of trouble right here. Can they get the trade? They can't. Neither Pote nor Wriggler able to get it done. Same position as last time, where Pote, I think, was pushing with the AWP. Yeah. And now it's just Remind here. That is very, very close to winning this round. That's kind of shocking. Like, he should probably be at least traded.
Yeah, no, you are right. The question is now, though, yeah, they're probably expecting a rotation over, but will they expect him towards sandbags? Because you more often than not will be looking over towards CT, especially now the gun being spotted, and B9 up close for 1, make that 2, Remind masterclass once again. He just, every single time he gets called upon, he shows up.
Now the question is, could Judonish do the same over on this side? They're making a lot of noise coming in here. They're not being silent at all. He's calling it in, saying they're right down in front. He's looking for it. A lot of damage, but not quite enough for a kill there. Grenade doesn't really matter, I think, but the bomb's surely going to get planted. You could see Remind is very quickly at the corner. He's been called out. He's been spotted, so X and O's. I think South Africa are in a good position to win this one. They're kind of dug in right now.
Yeah.
I think it would take a miracle for Tunisia to pick up this round.
Fight Africa, but they will. XE swings, and that's the strong position gone. This makes it awkward. MP9 on the drive-by. MP9 for the last. Remind will close it, and Tunisia take the finals 2-0. They take down South Africa and crown themselves as the champions of the African Esports Championships. And what a performance from them. Flawless throughout the open qualifiers, dropping just 1 map in every single game here for ISF, through the open, the closed, and the championship itself. Just the 1 map. And look what it means to them as well. What a performance.
Yeah, they've occupied the stage. The fans have run up. That's really sick. That's really awesome. Quad kill at the end for Remind. Like, he was completely running wild with it. Yeah, what a celebration it is.
That's sick. That is really cool. You can see what it means, right? You know, this is a region who don't get too many opportunities to play Counter-Strike on an international LAN environment, so they are making the most of it, and too right. Go for it. Enjoy yourself. But, you know, a lot of respect being shown as well. We saw the interview beforehand with Pote and Awesome, and then a lot of respect for each other. They know how strong both of these sides are, and they said, you know, respect shown outside the server, but not in. And I think, you know, we get to see now outside how they're showing the love. And of course, like we said, coming in towards this game, there's the one main thing. Both of these two sides have already qualified to the World Esports Championships, just being here in the finals. That's all that matters, but this really does mean a lot for them, you can see.
Fantastic video from the stage.
That's great.
Yeah, we don't get to see too many celebrations like this, but yeah, like you're absolutely right. Like the limited opportunities to play in the African region in general. So yeah, huge experience for these guys, no doubt about it. And like we said, there are going to be many other countries who are going to be joining in the future and who will want to, take this trophy away from Tunisia, right? Like, I'm sure Egypt are going to be out there saying it's going to be us next year.
Yeah,
So,
players getting in the middle of it as well. You love to see it.
Yeah,
You
it's
really
fantastic.
do. I mean, honestly, there's so many different ways you can give praise over towards this side. Obviously, that guy getting all the hugs on the stage, remind, what a performance again out from him. Every single time he's called upon, he steps up. And too right. MVP of map number 1 and basically the MVP of the tournament, I think, for Tunisia. Time and time again, bailed them out of bad situations, started rounds, closed rounds. This guy was prolific all the way throughout the African Esports Championships. And I think, for me, at least on a personal opinion, from what we saw of them, from what we casted, has to be my MVP.
Oh yeah, like it's gonna be very hard to make a different choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, sick for him individually. Also managed to change, like, I think some of the big mistakes that they had early on, but they were too aggressive. Like, they actually changed that around. Again, it's
No
an obvious
surprise,
choice.
yeah.
What a play.
Yeah, what a player. 28 across the series is it's not bad. I'm assuming that's a series. Maybe it's the map. I mean, honestly,
think it's the
knowing
map.
him, yeah,
That
that's
was
just
the map.
how good. Very much. So you got 17 map number 1, 28 map number 2. What a performance out from Remind. An absolutely
Insane.
ridiculous showing. 103 ADR map number 1, 128 ADR map number 2. I mean, Remind just ever present. They just could not find a way to stop him. And every single time it felt like Tunisia were maybe on the back foot, he would step up with 2 kills. I mean, having a player like that who is always going to help you out and you can always rely on as well is so good. The amount of times they would just leave him be anchoring alone because they know Remind's going to step up for 2 here, and he did every single time. And that final round, once again, and the celebration on the stage, it's absolutely sick. I mean, what a showing coming through from them. We see all the people on the stage, and we are in a minute as well. In a second, I'll throw us over towards the host. He's got an interview, of course. I'm sure we want to go check out what's going on the stage. We're going to throw us on over to the host. Thank you for joining us. My name is Neo Kai, joined by Anders. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to our new African champion, Team Tunisia. Congrats to Team Tunisia on winning this first edition of the AAC 2024 here in Casablanca, African Esports Championship. Our new champions are Tunisian. What a match, what a game by both teams, South Africa or Tunisia. So proud of the 2 teams. They gave us the final we deserved. So congrats again to Team Tunisia. Congrats again to South Africa for the 2nd place. Hard luck to them. And let's hear it from Tunisian team. Okay. Poté. Il est où Poté? Viens. Viens, capitaine d'équipe. Poté, le capitaine d'équipe, qui va nous donner un petit mot pour cette victoire اللي عطينا واحد الكلمة على هذا الفوز هذا historical.
والله أنا ما حبيتش نقولها avant la game. But this is North Africa. This is belong to North Africa. Winter is coming.
He tried to trash talk before the game, but he was like, okay, just let us win, and I will be trash talking. And my friend, my buddy, Ali, who wants to thank some people, so I'm gonna give you some few seconds to do it.
شكرا. أول شيء نحب نقدم تحية كبيرة لأي شخص ساهم في تنظيم الإيفنت العالمي هذا. نشكر الهوست، نشكر الكاسترز، نشكر كل إنسان قدم حتى 1% باش وصلنا للشيء هذا. نحب نقدمه بالإي سبورتس وبكل صراحة ستاف المغربي هيبة عثمان وأي شخص كان معانا يعني زوين كما يقولوا هما نشكروه. وشكرا ليك على التقديم الرائع. شكرا لل 31 شخص اللي جاي من تونس، الوفد البعث هذه الكل 25 لاعب، وشكرا للجمهور.
Thank you. So guys, officially Tunisia African champions of CS2 male section. And don't worry, we're not done here because we still have one final to go. Morocco vs Egypt. Mobile Legends Bang Bang. We're gonna meet, of course, in a few moments to leave this final. We're gonna close the stream for now and restart another stream as long as the players are ready. And we promise you another historical final between Morocco and Egypt. Guys, stay tuned. We'll be coming back to you soon.